Spring football is right around the corner. What are the questions that we have for the Florida Gators heading into year 2 of the Billy Napier era? I got a couple of thoughts around this program because the way they finished the year left a little bit to be desired, but I think there's more than what meets the eye in Gainesville. You brought in Mertz, and that's where I want to start with this whole thing. How is he adapting? Yes, how is he adapting with the playbook? Yes, how does he look during spring practice? That's all very important. 100%, that's one of my questions. But I also want to know, how is the team responding to Mertz? Because whenever you enter any new sort of arena, whether it's a new team, a new school, you have to sort of win over the crowd, right? Sort of a thing. These players that have been in Gainesville since before Mertz got there, they've bled together. They've sweat together. They've gone through the ringer together. Mertz is entering into the fray at a very visible position, a leadership position. I'm not going to follow the leader until they prove that they are a leader, until they've proven that they demand my respect. And I think that's what Mertz is in the process of doing right now in Gainesville. Like, that's a thing that I think he is slowly but steadily chipping away at. Got to earn your stripes. Also got to prove that you're here for the guys, because there is also, I think, this stigma around transfers that when you transfer to a new situation, the stigma is that you are doing it for your own personal reasons, which is fair. Like, to a degree, that's true. But how many of you know when you get to that situation, you then have to put your personal reasons on the back burner and make it very evident, hey, I'm here to win football games. Yes, I want to go to the NFL. Yes, I want to be All-American. Yes, I want to achieve all my personal goals, but I'm here for y'all. Like, we, us, ours is a phrase that I throw out there a lot. Football speak for basically, we win together, we lose together. I'm here for y'all. Let's make this happen. On the flip side of that, you got Jack Miller, who has been in the trenches with his guys, who has been in the foxhole. And the sample size on him is fairly small. Spring game and bowl game. The bowl game left a lot to be desired. So one of the reasons why I would imagine they brought in Mertz, also probably some other things happening behind closed doors that make you feel confident. Need to bring in a transfer quarterback to help yourself in year 2. But I'm just saying, how is Mertz winning over this team? I'm not insinuating anything at all, saying that he hasn't won them over or that he's not being well received. I'm just saying, as a leader within any locker room, respect is earned. It's not just given because you're the quarterback. And Mertz knows that. I promise you he knows that. But Florida lost a lot of leadership to the NFL draft. Anthony Richardson, Ventrell Miller, 2 guys that were alpha dogs in that locker room, 2 guys that set the temperature for the standard at Florida. So for Mertz, if he is your quarterback, does he have that same impact from a leadership standpoint? And how is he going about that in the spring? I'm very curious to be locked in at Gators Online or Florida On 3 site. I would encourage you to get a membership if you have not already, because there's going to be a lot of intel flowing, a lot going on in the message boards. I promise you, we'll talk intel here for Florida during the spring. I promise you, make sure you're subscribed here. But Gators Online is going to be a great way to stay up with it as well. So subscribe here to the On3 YouTube channel. We'd love to have you a part of this community. Also, like I said, get you a membership and follow me on Twitter at JD Pakel. Follow me on Instagram there as well so we can have some interaction. Want to hear from y'all, man. That's the fun part of this whole operation. What's the temperature on defense? Lose 2 linebackers, lose 2 safeties. And the reason why I say what's the temperature, I don't need to know about the defense in the spring. I do not need to know without a shadow of a doubt we're going to have a top 10 defense or defense is going to be number 131. You don't find out who you are in the spring. The spring is 15 practices. And we're all just salivating at the mouth for some football, which is why you have hyperbolic statements made during the spring. But what's the temperature during the spring? And the reason, like I just said, temperature, there's 2 ways that I think this could go. And you know how this feels when someone asks you, hey, how does X look? Whether it's the defense or position group or a certain player, how do they look in the spring? And the response is never certain, but it's always a speculation. And which side of the speculation coin do we fall on? Do we fall on the, hey, I haven't seen anything in the fall yet, but I'm telling you, we might have something here with this defense. We might be able to make some things shake in the SEC with the way they've looked in the spring, okay? Or there's the opposite side of that coin with speculation, other temperature to be taken here, and it's, yeah, we're going to have to score a lot of points here, boys. Hey, we lost some guys. We're going to have to find a way to supplement that. You see what I'm saying here? What's the temperature? What's the feeling? Because the feelings aren't always, like I said, the way that it turns out, but I would say they are helpful context clues for when you get to the fall. That's how you put a game plan together. It's how you feel about your different units before you play in the game. So there's no way of knowing, but the temperature on defense is paramount. They allowed 30 points a game in 2022. Okay, not all of that is Billy Napier's fault. A lot of that was inherited. But now you've had an offseason to address some of those issues. What's the temperature in the spring? Because I think that will give you a good direction or a good understanding of how you could look when you head into that 23 season. Got to be able to play good defense in the SEC. It's how you win the conference, okay? I don't think I'm saying anything that we don't already know. The other thing I want to know, the offensive line. You lost 4 starters. And that, to me, could really be what makes or breaks 2023 for Florida. Again, I don't need to know for certain how we're looking. I don't need to know for certain what we're going to be, but I got to feel some sort of way about the development and the progress on the offensive line because you have so much behind that offensive line, in my opinion, especially in that running back room, to where if we don't have an offensive line to even get it started, we got issues. Do we have enough there to get started is my question, because you got Trevor Etienne, you got Montrell Johnson, 2 of, in my opinion, the best young running backs in all of NCAA, maybe one of the best tandems in the NCAA. Like, you have some pieces back there. If you don't have an offensive line to allow those guys to impact the game, we're doing ourselves a disservice. And Florida's gone in the portal and done some work there, but I'm just saying that needs to be somewhere where we can at least be solid. And to make matters even more paramount, you're going to have a new starting quarterback. Like I already told you, whether it's Graham Mertz, whether it's Jack Miller, either one of those cats is going to have their first year in the saddle starting as a quarterback at Florida. So just having something to get us started, it has to be the case for Florida. It has to. Same thing, like I said, with the defense. The SEC, it's a trenches league. It is a line of scrimmage league. And so those big boys up front, we got to lay the groundwork to be elite when it comes to the fall. Lay the groundwork in the spring, be elite in the fall. Again, it doesn't have to be all figured out, but we have too much on offense for that to be the bottleneck. Too much going on. Too much going on for that to be the reason why we don't succeed if we're the Florida offense. So I'm excited for Florida. I'm telling you, there's a lot there. There's a lot there. The record is more than what meets the eye when you talk about 2022 for Florida. I think the culture is solid. Culture probably gets overblown this time of year, but I'm telling you, there were a lot of opportunities for that team to hang it up and say, you know what, I'm good. I'm going to sort of just withdraw emotionally. I'll withdraw competitively. I saw them fight all the way through the finish. The bowl game was what it was. A lot of guys didn't play in that game, quite frankly, for reasons that are considered valid. I'm excited about Florida. I think Billy Napier's got that thing headed the right direction. And 2023 is another opportunity to show the direction of this football team. So keep it locked right here. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit the bell so you don't miss when we go live on Tuesday, live on Thursday. Have a good time here, y'all. I want you a part of it. Again, Gators Online, the Florida On 3 site, the message boards, the intel. It's worth a membership. So lock in there as well. Follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at JDPakel. Man, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all. We're going to keep the party rolling. We will see y'all next time. Hey, y'all. Thanks so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel here to make sure you don't miss an episode of The Hard Count. Also, be sure to check out other videos on the On3 YouTube channel.